Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington Tea Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and this is an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Do you have anything to say today? He wants to go play on the beach, of course. And we are here in lovely Provincetown, Massachusetts, and today we have a special guest. Come here, Luce. Come on, Luce. Up, come here. Lucy, who is a Sheltie. I don't know how I'm going to manage this. I have one lap and two dogs. Lucy. And Lucy, as you can perhaps see, has had a haircut. And today we're going to talk about Lucy's haircut and why she has a haircut. And maybe at the end of the show I'll give you an overall view of her. So there's been a bit of controversy circulating on Facebook about whether or not you should shave dogs, if it's cruel because they can't regulate their heat so well when they don't have their hair, whether you should shave a double-coated dog, whether you should shave half the dog, part of the dog, all of the dog. And I'll tell you, it really depends. Everything always depends. There's no strict rule for anything. And if you have a dog, like a rescue, that has recently been brought in, a shelter will shave them and clean them up and get rid of the fleas and take out the tingles and give their coat a chance to grow back in healthy and untangled and clean. And that is a real service of kindness to do that for a dog. So in that case, clearly shaving can be a good idea. But shaving is not always in every dog's best interest. I know lots of people who shave a dog like a Corgi, even in the winter, and that is not good. They have a double coat. They are made to be able to regulate their temperature in a harsh environment. And so the double coat for a Corgi is a good thing. Oops, Tristan. His dream is that he's going to be tangled in the sound wire and forever be crippled. And right now we've got a pretty good Corgi half hitch on the hind leg. So shaving a Corgi in the winter is not a great idea. And some people were just telling me that they live in an apartment in Boston and there's another Corgi in the building and that Corgi is continuously shaved and they consider that cruel. And I think in the harsh weather of Boston, that is possibly quite true. So with Lucy, she's a Sheltie. Anybody who has a Sheltie or has had a Sheltie or knows a Sheltie will know that they shed tremendously. And the amount of shedding they do is similar to a Corgi, but the hair is longer and silkier and you get little tumbleweeds around the house. The same kind of thing happens with a Great Pyrenees and some of the other bigger dogs, regular collies, of course, and lots of the dogs that have that long, silky hair. What am I thinking of? Pomeranians, for instance. So Lucy's mom, pretty much every Memorial Day, makes the decision to shave her for the summer. Partially, she has to shave her so she can find ticks and fleas. This is really critical to your dog's health, so in that case, shaving can be a good thing. And, you know, I can find a tick or flea on a Corgi. They're pretty bald on the bottom half, actually. But on a Sheltie, I'd be hard-pressed. And certainly on a thick-coated black dog, it would be very hard to find a tick. So part of why this dog gets shaved, and I know a lot of people that shave Aussies as well, because they have that long silky hair and it's impossible to find fleas and ticks. The second thing is if the dog goes in the water at all, it's impossible to dry them thoroughly when they have that long coat, especially in the summer when it's damp. Even if you have air conditioning, it's not enough. I mean, Tristan is still continuously moist on his bottom half while we're here, and we have air conditioning and he's getting toweled. I don't have a blow dryer. I probably should because his armpits are getting a little gamey, but we'll take care of that today. So shaving a dog like Lucy is a great idea in the summer because she is swimming a lot. Her person takes her swimming quite a lot. And she takes her to dog parks where there's more fleas and ticks. And she needs a break from cleaning up all of the hair shedding in the winter. And it seems to actually give her a better quality coat when it grows back in the fall. So some of the other things I asked Lucy's owner about shaving her was, how does the dog act after she's shaved? And her person said that in fact Lucy prances around and she is much lighter. You can tell that she feels good to get that hair off in May. May, the end of May, in New York City where they live, because it's just a lot. And a lot of times, if you don't keep up with the grooming on a long-haired dog like a Sheltie, they get little fuzz balls behind their armpits, and they can't move their legs, and sometimes under their tail gets quite bad. So, it can be a real sense of freedom for a dog to lose all that hair when you shave them for the summer. And that's the only time of year Lucy gets shaved. And she said that she has a full coat again by Halloween. And I've seen her at Halloween, and she does look pretty much like a regular Sheltie by that time of year. Right, Lucy? She's sitting down here. Now, one of the other things that the person said is that for the first day or so, Lucy is a little embarrassed because she doesn't have her hair, and it takes her a while to reorient with her body after she's had her haircut. And one of the things we brought up in the last T-Touch class was about shaving dogs and whether that's a great idea, because your hair develops from the same embryonic tissue as your central nervous system. So your hair is very connected to your central nervous system, which is why cats and horses and dogs, you can come up, go through their environment navigating with their whiskers, because these whiskers go right to the brain, and so they know where they are, and they know what they're smelling, and they know if it's a safe passageway for them or not, depending on how their whiskers respond. So for me, when I lost all of my hair, I had 3 feet of long hair, and I lost it all when I had cancer. I shaved it off. And I'll tell you, the difference for me was profound. I was disoriented when I was dancing and walking. I was out of balance a lot of the time. I would pick up something and overlift it because I was used to having 2 pounds of hair on my head. And I think the same thing happens to our dogs. I think when Lucy has had that thick winter Sheltie coat and suddenly it's gone, it just takes her a little while to get oriented to her body again. And certainly when you shave an animal, particularly with horses, you have to really pay attention to how you're taking care of them. You cannot leave them out in the sun for a really long time because they can get sunburned, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow with another shaved dog here named Gypsy. And you have to be careful to keep them warm. If we suddenly get a cold snap in September, Lucy might need a little blanket, which she has several of. And you also have to be aware that some of the oil from the coat leaves when you just have the undercoat. And Lucy does get shaved pretty much down to just a little thin layer of hair, like my mom's Schnauzer after she goes for a grooming. And it doesn't take too long for her to get a little bit of fluff like she has now, but that's really just her undercoat. Some of the guard hairs are starting to grow in, but to that end, she's lost a lot of the oil in her coat that can repel water, and so in the rain, you might need a little raincoat for a dog like her with a haircut. So if you are going to choose to shave your dog for the summer, make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you understand what your responsibilities are to that dog after you shave him. Keep him out of the sun so he doesn't get sunburned. Make sure you keep him clean. And certainly there's justified reasons to do it. If you have to find fleas and ticks in a dog in the summer, it is not easy with the coat of a Collie or a Sheltie or Australian Shepherd or some of the other breeds. With shorter coated dogs like Labradors and Corgis and German Shepherds, it's not so essential that you shave them. You can manage that coat well, and that coat is made for different temperatures. So let's just have another look at Lucy here. I don't know if I can take the phone off the stand, hold the Corgi, and get Lucy to hold still. Luce, let's see your cute shaved self. So she's, I don't know, can you see her? No, you can see my hand. There's Lucy. So she's pretty. She's got a little bit of fluff on her, like a puppy cut. She still has her tail. They don't leave a puff on the end like a lion. Sometimes dogs can be embarrassed when you do something that's like cute like that, because people treat them differently. And they'll call her a lion, and that's not her personality at all. She's a real sweetheart. So be aware of all these things when you decide to shave your dog. And tomorrow we hope, I think they're leaving, but certainly for a few minutes we'll be able to talk to Gypsy's mom about shaving Gypsy for the summer. She is in and out of the water all summer. So in her case, it's not so much about fleas and ticks, but about loving to swim and retrieve balls in the water nearly daily. And it is so important to keep your dog clean and dry in between when they go swimming. If you have a dog even getting hydrotherapy, it's really important to keep them clean and dry when they're not in the water. So to that end, shaving a dog like Lucy can be a great thing, or a dog like Gypsy in the summer. But remember, it's not straightforward, And certainly there's been a lot of discrepancies. I posted a picture a couple of weeks ago of a thermography picture of a golden retriever that was shaved in a lion cut, so you could see the front of him was cooler than the back of him. And then there's another person that rebuts this, saying that, well, in fact, the heat's going to be leaving the body more where it's shaved, so of course it's going to be hotter back there. But, you know, short of doing a really controlled experiment about this, and certainly my sister has a thermography machine, we could certainly try to do something at her office with it and try it with dogs in the shade, dogs in the sun, a dog in the car. But that will take days, and neither of us have that much time ever. But it is interesting to see that there is quite a clear difference in temperature between the front and back of the dog. So if your dog is losing that heat and it's hovering around his body, you're still going to need to make sure you keep him cool when you shave him. Don't just assume because he's shaved he's cool, because he's no cooler than my dog is right now. So thanks for joining us today for this episode of Conversations with a Corgi and our special guest Lucy, who's hiding. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Everybody have a great day, and keep your dog and yourself cool and hydrated. What do you think? Biscuit's like, I have got to go to the beach. He's quivering because his mother has denied him beach time because it was high tide. Now there is actual beach for him to go on. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.